The back is made up of some of the largest muscle groups in the upper body and are the main support for the torso. These muscles help you move the entire body, including your head, neck, shoulders, arms, and legs. So training the back to develop its full potential requires many different exercises, angles, and movement patterns. For bodybuilding purposes, we group these exercises into two main categories: back thickness movements, which include all horizontal rowing movements such as the barbell and dumbbell row, as well as in some cases hip hinging movements like deadlifts and RDLs, and back width movements, which include all vertical pulling movements like pull-ups and pull-downs. Now, back width training is slightly more complicated out of these two, as the width of the back can be trained with many different exercises outside of vertical pulling movements. And in today's video, we're going to dive into exactly how to train to develop wider lats. First, we're going to dive into the most basic bread and butter and old school lat width exercise that there is, the wide grip pull-up. This exercise needs no introduction, and it's been a staple back exercise for many bodybuilders since the beginning. But what does need to be addressed is how to specifically perform this movement for developing the lats and width of the back. Many will argue that pull-ups work the teres major, which are the muscles behind the shoulder blades, and that this makes the pull-up less effective as a lat exercise. While the teres major is worked hard during the pull-up, many people don't understand that adjusting your form and positioning on this movement significantly shifts the emphasis to the muscles you want to target. So if we're training to be lat specific on the pull-up, you must focus on these three things. First, the width of your grip, which should be wider than shoulder width. Secondly, the dead hang at the bottom, which allows you to stretch the lats fully. And third, the path in which you pull up. You should be bringing the bar to the clavicle. Many people fail to do this on pull-ups, which is exactly why it no longer becomes a lat-specific movement. Many people aim to only get the chin over the bar, or worse, swing the torso up and have the bar out in front of them at the top. The way to do them for lat-specific training is as follows. Coming from a dead hang and stretching the lats activates them at the bottom. Using mind muscle connection, pull up to the top using the lats, and fully squeezing the lats at the top with the bar to the clavicle. This keeps the torso in a straight path, which is absolutely mandatory to focus on the lats. This is the specific reason many bodybuilders claim they feel machine-assisted pull-ups in the lats more than bodyweight pull-ups. But it's only because the machine forces them to stay upright throughout the entire movement and allows for a full range of motion with the help of the counterweight. But nothing beats bodyweight or even weighted pull-ups for building the lats if you're strong enough to use the same form on every single rep. Exercise number 2 that's in every back training program is the basic lat pull-down. Another vertical pulling movement, and one that can arguably be interchanged with pull-ups if using the same grip width and same technique. However, to bias the lower lats, the lat pull-down offers a unique advantage over the pull-up. To target this part of the back, it will require 3 things. First, the use of an underhand grip. This will put the elbows out in front of you rather than out to the sides, which will allow for an increased range of motion on the lats. Second, the positioning of the torso. By leaning back slightly, this allows you to pull the bar lower on the torso. And third, pulling the bar down underneath the chest, right into the lower part of the sternum. These techniques turn this movement into a very lat-specific exercise, as it trains the lats through one of the largest ranges of motion of any other vertical pulling exercise. And it also engages the lats in both a vertical pulling exercise, but also has some benefits of a pullover, by forcing you to pull the bar towards the torso as you come down with the bar. This is a huge advantage for the lats specifically that you cannot get by doing any other traditional pull down. And finally, the last exercise, but also one of the most important for fully developing the lats, but also has the added benefit of the serratus anterior, or finger-like muscles across the front of the rib cage. That's the old school dumbbell pullover, an exercise that many confuse as a pec movement. The lat pullover once again is an exercise that can be tweaked to bias a certain muscle group. To focus on the lats specifically, there's 3 tips to accomplish this. First, a slight bend in the elbow is key throughout the entire movement. Second, a full and deep stretch at the bottom will activate the lats. As you can see from all these movements, lat training specifically is all about deep stretching. And third, when pulling the dumbbell over, you must keep the bend at the elbow the entire movement, as you are pulling the dumbbell over, not pressing like many people mistakenly do on this movement. You want to think about this movement like you're doing a lat pull down from behind the head and moving the weight around your body, similar to the technique change we added to the lat pull down. Now, these 3 movements overall are the bread and butter exercise for lats and overall back width. If you're looking to build a wider back, I highly recommend all 3 exercises be incorporated into your workouts. And if you're looking for a program designed to build mass using proven old school bodybuilding training methods, I recommend you check out my 5-day mass gain program in the description. And if you need customized one-on-one coaching to develop your specific goals, apply to work with me directly by visiting all the links below. And as always, if you want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.